Hello and welcome to Sports Talks with JP. I'm your host, Joshua Panetta. And today we're going to be talking about some hot topics going around in the sports world. Today I'm joined by Carsyn Can and Ryan Casper. So Carsyn.
Hello.
The coronavirus, it's taking out all of Europe, all of Asia, and now in the U.S. It's impacted all of our sporting events. The Big Ten and the SEC just canceled its big basketball tournament. What are your thoughts on this?
You know, while this is very unfortunate for all the basketball fans, I know it's very sad for me, but I think it's definitely necessary. There's this virus, I'm not an expert on it in no means, but I just know how fast it's spreading, and I just think it's definitely a necessary precaution for all sports to take. If not, I wouldn't be surprised if the NCAA canceled the March Madness next.
Ryan?
Well, for me, I just think they're overreacting. I mean, if you look at the statistics, the coronavirus is just another flu. I mean, they're just taking it to extra proportions, but in a way, I think it's a good thing that they're canceling these sporting events, or not canceling necessarily, but bringing like less fans to some of them and canceling some, like the SEC tournament and the Big Ten tournament. But I just think they're taking good precaution, even though I think they are overreacting. That it's better safe than sorry.
The NBA has suspended its following season with Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell coming out with having the coronavirus. Does this implicate some of the tactics that the NBA has to, kind of implement with handling the coronavirus?
I think the NBA handled this absolutely perfectly. I mean, 2 players have come down with it, and you know how fast something can spread when there's a game being played. And so when the first 2 players, when Rudy Gobert first got the coronavirus, I thought it was the best decision to cancel the whole, or at least postpone the entire season. That's exactly what they did, because it's better safe for the players' sake to not get the disease and just to stay safe. And so, because they have families also. I mean, it's not just about the game. It's more than just a game. It's about their health and their safety. So I think the NBA commissioner did a great job in postponing and suspending the season.
I 100% agree. I think that even though it's so sad to watch this season be, because you never know what was going to become of it. So it's very unfortunate that it can't progress. But I do think, along with the NBA saying that, the players should self-quarantine for 10 days, and all the fans there were supposed to self-quarantine for at least 24 hours after. I just think that because we don't know really what the coronavirus is and how it will affect us in the long term, I think it's definitely smart of what the NBA did.
Do you think it's more than just the common cold?
It has to be. I mean, I think that while it may not affect people our age, there's no way of telling how it will spread and how we can affect other people, especially the elderly and people with weak immune systems. It's not a question they ask you when you buy a ticket to a basketball game or an NBA game. So I think that's just a good precaution just for everybody.
In a way, I agree with that, but I also think that they could also bring fans to the game but warn them. I think that's not the best scenario, but in my case, I feel like that would be a good scenario, because the NBA needs to make money in this. They're losing money for the entire season. They have to refund every single ticket that the fans bought for the games for the upcoming season. And so I just feel like they shouldn't have, I feel like they could have progressed more efficiently than just even though I said postponing it right now was the best scenario, in a money sense, I think they could have found a way to warn the fans before the game and given them a fair chance to say, if you still want to go to the game, you are allowed to go to the game, but if you don't want to, then you don't. But all in all, I do think that they made the best decision in health situation-wise, health-wise, to postpone the entire season.
But at what point do you consider money over, a human life? Because what would have happened if Rudy Gobert did not test for the coronavirus, ended up playing that entire game, and then ended up, shaking hands with the players, and you don't know what could have happened after that?
That is true. And for me, health always comes first before money. But when you look at the NBA, such a big organization, money, I feel like, comes first for them. I mean, even though they will say health comes first, fans come first, playing comes first, money is always going to be above everything, just because they need to make money in order to keep the organization running. And so I feel like the NBA, just overall, they did a great thing for the community and for like the people are fans of the NBA. They did a great thing for them to get them to support them more because they postponed the season, even though fans are disappointed. But I just feel like, in a money sense, they could have kept it going and they could have like warned fans before entering the stadium or like over TV or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if like Rudy Gobert hadn't gotten the coronavirus, I think that the way that they could have, because you're right, you're completely right. The NBA is business first and foremost, just like all professional sports. They care about their bottom line. But if Rudy Gobert hadn't gotten the coronavirus, it hadn't been passed on to Donovan Mitchell, then maybe they could still broadcast the games, and then they could still make money off of contracts and stuff. But having fans come in is just too risky. It's not like you said before. They'd rather be safe than sorry than having these fans. Because I mean, if someone got the coronavirus at an NBA game, like who would be held responsible? Could they hold the NBA responsible for still having that? No one really knows any legal precedent because none of this has happened before. So I think that, like what you said, like canceling the games, even though it's very disappointing, I think that it's ultimately what they had to do. I think there's no other decision that they could have made.
Mm-hmm. The big question now is with the NBA being suspended and the cancellation of these not conference tournaments, do you cancel March Madness? Do you cancel the NCAA tournament?
No, I don't think you cancel the NCAA tournament just because for the players' sake, they want to play in this game. Like even though this health situation is going out of control, the coronavirus, you can talk to any player. They want to play the game, like because their passion for the game is over the wall. I mean, they just want to get out there and they want to win something for their university, for their school. And so I think it's best to play. I think it's best to keep March Madness going, but without fans, like they're doing right now, and just to see where it progresses from there. If someone catches the coronavirus as it's going, then I think it should be canceled from then. But as of now, I think they should keep it going.
I'm all for passion for your school. I'm all about that. But it comes to a point where these are kids and they might not understand the full gravity of what this situation is. And the SEC, the Big Ten, the NBA has already set the precedent for all of these other sports that they have to follow. I mean, if the March Madness doesn't get canceled, that's just a bad example for the rest of the sports league. And I think that, like even without fans, like Rudy Gobert is the one, an NBA player is the one who got the coronavirus. And so with, basketball, blood, sweat, everything, like that's just going to get passed so easily. And there's no way to actually know if you have it during the match. Like you can't just know, like unless they're feeling sick or feverish, whatever, you're not going to be able to know. So I think that while I totally understand why players would want to play the game. Everyone, all the fans, all teams, everyone wants to see March Madness. It's just not smart for it to continue.
But it's the seniors' last go-around. You would want to play in this.
Josh, I want a lot of things in life, and sometimes that just doesn't happen. I mean, I think the players would rather be alive than play a basketball game if it comes down to it. And while it's unfortunate, it's horrible. It might be some of their worst nightmares not to be able to play, but that's just the situation we're in now, and that's what you just have to face what's in front of you.
Again, I completely disagree with that. I mean, if you look at the statistics, people younger people statistically are not getting this disease as prominent as older people, and so as a senior, for a university playing in could have been their last game back in a couple days ago. I think they want to play in March Madness. I don't think the standards are that high for getting the disease for young people, and I just think their passion for the game would overcompensate their health in this situation, and they'd want to play.
With that, guys, let's transition over to baseball. With the Major League Baseball season coming up, the Houston Astros just got bamboozled with all these accusations and with the cheating scandal actually, in fact, coming down on them. What would you guys say is the biggest thing for the Astros to do with this upcoming baseball season with all the negative comments and all the stuff that potentially teams could throw at them?
I think you just got to ignore it. Every single thing that the fans are doing, everything that the teams are accusing of them, even though it's true, as an organization, you just have to ignore it and play the season like it never happened. I know that's hard to do as a team because they got accused of all of these accusations of sign stealing and banging a drum, and I just think you just got to go out there and you just got to play your game. Even though this thing is the biggest thing to happen in the organization's history, there's still a whole season up ahead, and I just think you can't let that mess with your mind at all, because that will definitely mess with your game. And I just think they got to go out there. They just got to play baseball like they usually do, and they got to just do their thing.
I do not agree. I think it's hard to move past more than just Astros fans. I mean, yes, as an organization, that's what they have to do, but as a whole MLB and fans of baseball, it's not fair to them to just move past this subject when they are still holding on to that title. In my opinion, there's no reason that the Astros should still be able to have that title. Like, there's no way to know who would have won that baseball series, but I mean, that there should just be a blank in the record book. The Astros, like with the cheating and stuff, there's no way that they should be able to like keep their title.
I mean, think of this. How many teams do you think have cheated in the past that just haven't gotten caught? I think there are so many accusations out there that could be put on teams in the past where they can revoke their title too. So I don't think you can really necessarily take away the Astros title right now. I think give it maybe 4 or 5 years, and if they come up with more accusations to where more teams in the past are losing their titles and stuff like that, I think that's when you take away the Astros title. But as of right now, I think they should keep it.
But how many of those accusations, were actually proven true? This is the Astros. It was proven true by your own players. Your pitcher came out saying, we cheated during the World Series, we cheated during the season, and you guys ended up winning a title with that. How would you feel as an opposing team knowing that the national champion cheated their way to get that title?
I mean, obviously, I wouldn't feel great. I mean, obviously, they cheated their way to a championship. But then again, like, what team doesn't cheat? I mean, the Red Sox got accused of something in their run to the World Series. I mean, there's just a bunch of accusations that I feel like have not been uncovered yet, that they just don't have enough evidence to take away the title right now. They need more evidence from other teams cheating in order to take away the title. You can't just take away one. I feel like you have to take away more than one at once.
Well, I think this is a bigger issue in the MLB because there has been teams that have been accused of cheating in the past during their World Series runs, and I think that's the MLB's issue, that they do nothing to prevent it afterwards. Like you're saying, there's been no precedent. Well, that's because the MLB hasn't ever tried to prevent anything. So I think while there may be nothing that's happened in the past in the major leagues, like if you look at college sports, if you ask like the USC 2004 football team or the 2013 Louisville basketball team, if you ask them about like they're watching their banners taken down, I think that's a hefty like grief feeling watching those banners come down. So I feel like there might not be, people might say, oh well, this is just for like show, like taking away the title is not going to actually change anything in the past, but it's not for taking away all the other things that has happened in the past. I mean, no one can change that, but it will help the fans now watch, because as a baseball fan, knowing that a team cheated to get there, that's just the opposite of what people like to watch.
I completely agree in a sense, to the point where taking down a banner changes the whole culture. I mean, that could change the entire Astros team's state of mind for this upcoming season and for upcoming seasons past this. Like tearing down a banner, like you said, for a 2013 Louisville team, 2004 USC team, it completely took a toll on the players. I mean, they came out saying that they were completely heartbroken, that they put everything into that season, and even though they cheated, they just take it away. I mean, I still feel like you just can't take away a title if there's not more than one scenarios of this happening, in my opinion.
Aren't the Red Sox being investigated right now?
They were investigated for accusations, yes. But do you feel as if the punishment was big enough for these Astro players? I know Carlos Beltran, ex-player for the Astros during that championship team, he was a New York Mets manager, and then he was fired. Do you feel that the players should have gotten some type of repercussion from that?
No, just because. No and yes. I mean, in a way, it was the player's choice, but it wasn't like if you punish one player, I feel like they all have to be punished the same way. And if you look at the statistics from who cheated, like from accusations, Jose Altuve didn't cheat at all during the entire season, and he's gotten accused more than anyone.
He was the one who was grabbing his shirt during that home run.
But we still don't know what was under there. There's not enough evidence to prove what was under his shirt right there. In my opinion, I just think if you're gonna punish one player, you got to punish them all the same. You can't punish them all indifferently if it's the team's problem.
Well, baseball is a team sport, and while it might be, you win as a team, you lose as a team. If you cheat as a team. There's no way to just separate it individually. Who gets that? If the team is reported of cheating, then I think you have to punish everyone the same.
I agree.
It's going to be interesting for this upcoming baseball season for the Astros. However, free agency has hit the NFL, and the big question is, where is Tom Brady going to land? Ryan, do you have any idea where Tom Brady's going to go?
Tom Brady is staying with New England. New England Patriot fans do not need to worry for this one. Tom Brady is not going to leave New England. There is absolutely no way that he is leaving Belichick. He will not be as successful without Belichick. Belichick made Brady. Brady will be somewhere. If Brady goes to Tampa, like this latest report came out yesterday, absolutely no chance he is successful in Tampa. Belichick and Brady are a combo that can't be taken away from each other. So, in my opinion, staying in New England, no worries.
Carsyn, where does Brady go?
I agree with you, Ryan. I think Brady is going to stay with the Pats. There's just too much familiarity there with Belichick and Brady. There's no, if going to a new team means he has to learn a whole new offense, he has to take time away from his family, he has to go to off-season practices now that he didn't have to before. And if he goes to anywhere like that, the Raiders, like you said, Tampa, he's gonna have to play bigger teams that the AFC. What division?
AFC
East. I feel like the Patriots could still win that division fairly easily. Last year, if you look at if Antonio Brown or Josh Gordon hadn't gotten to personal issues off the field, we might not even be having this conversation right now. They could have made it past, their downhill. The end of the downhill part of the season last year might not have happened if those players were there. So I think that if they bring Brady more offensive weapons, I think that probably stay.
See, I feel like he could thrive under Bruce Arians' offense. With the type of weapons he's surrounded with, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. The potential is there. Tom Brady is a proven winner. Yeah. I think he could succeed in Tampa Bay. Do you not agree?
Sure, Tom Brady has been a proven winner, but if you look at his track record, Tom Brady that's not his type of offense. He's more of like a check down type of offense because he's getting to the downhill part of his career, obviously, as we all know. And so I feel like if he goes to Tampa, he's not going to be able to provide the expectations that the fans are wanting from Brady because they see Brady and they think, oh my gosh, we're getting Tom Brady. We're getting the greatest quarterback of all time. He's going to come in. We're going to win a Super Bowl. We're going to finally do something with our organization. But that's not what Tom Brady's going to bring. Tom Brady is just going to bring the veteran leadership. I don't necessarily think he's going to lead them to the playoffs if he goes there in his first year. And even if he goes there to Tampa, I think he'll retire, give him 1 to 2 years. So I just think it's the smartest decision in his aspect to stay in New England.
I think Tom Brady has a rare opportunity to become like Derek Jeter or Kobe Bryant of the NFL, staying with one team and being dominant and being successful on one team, especially like the Patriots, this this dominant team in the NFL. So I think that Tom Brady, while maybe he'll succeed in Tampa, I think he may not. That may throw a whole dent in his career that he could have had. He could have avoided by just staying with the Patriots.
Let's look at Barry Sanders. He went to Arizona to end his career. Didn't work out. He completely ruined his career by going to Arizona. So I just think staying with one team will keep it forever.
Could this be his farewell season?
No.
If he does, in fact, re-sign with Tampa Bay, or, with the Patriots, or go off and sign with another team. Could this be his farewell season?
No, I'll give him 2 more years. I think Brady wants to win one more championship, and that's also why I think he'll stay with New England. If you look at New England, the defense is unreal. They've got the whole entire team. They've got the full team that Tampa doesn't. Tampa needs some help all around the team right now. And I think Tom Brady, if he wants to win one more championship, get that one more ring on his finger, I think he stays with New England for, say, give him 2 more years, and then he will get that next year his farewell season.
Carsyn?
I think Tom Brady may well be his farewell season. I think that Tom Brady has been edging up to that cliff, as we all know, and so I think leading to all this stress more than just, on the field off season. He has a family, he has a wife. I think that it's probably come to more than just football, and I think this will probably be his last season.
Again, I just want to thank Ryan Casper and Carsyn Can for joining me today on the Sports Talk with JP. I'm your host, Josh Panetta. Thank you guys for watching.